once you've had that breakthrough of like, oh, I'm held accountable for things I was born into, and God's enough. Jesus is enough. And I don't have to be a victim because of Jesus. And it's still hard, and I'm in process. That's kind of what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, that's where I am. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're in that place of like, what do I even do? The practicals start with understanding your body, your soul, and your spirit. I didn't have language for this, but this is what happened. Okay. We always start people. Now I'm talking like more coaching mode. We always start people in health, physical health. Because why? Because when your soul's been starving, your body is definitely getting destroyed. And what that looks like is it can look like hormonal imbalance, especially for women. Okay. For men
lost,
too.
like all of my hair. Like I had, it's just, and just really bad health because of it. But
exactly. Yeah. Health is a huge deal. And what is health? Health is not eating salads. Actually, that's the furthest thing from it. Health is understanding where your body is at and what needs to heal. The first letters of health are heal. And in order to heal, you have to understand what you need healing in. If you go to the doctor and say, my knee's broken, but really it's your heart problem, well, they could go in and they could look at your knee and be like, you're fine. And you'd say, well, great, I'm fine. But really your heart's still got a problem, right? So it's like, I need to know where I'm really at. And most people don't know where they're really at because they just don't have awareness. And so the obvious things like hair falling out or being tired in the morning and wired at night, those are things where it's like, this is different. Like skin showing signs of poor health, and you can start paying attention, but a lot of times people don't recognize health issues until it becomes a disorder. So they live in dysfunction before it becomes a disorder, because anything that is a disorder had to be dysfunctional first. And so they live in dysfunction for a long period of time, that then it becomes a disorder, sleep disorder, eating disorder, I could name the list of disorders.
Right.
Okay. So if you're in dysfunctional state, it's really hard to identify. And that's the thing, is like being able to understand the dysfunctional states before they become disordered states. Even bipolar disorder, I'm talking like extreme levels here. Okay. There's so many elements to this, but there's really practicals around health. And for me, what that looked like was I didn't know what I didn't know. So I started with basics. We call them 7 pillars. Okay. Diet, sleep, movement, active rest, reflection, connection, fun. Now, the one that nobody really gets, well, I'd say a lot of them people don't get, but like sleep is not just going to bed and getting sleep. Sleep is actually recovery. Nutrition is diet, is not dieting, eating salads. It's actually what your body needs based on the actual type. Are you an endomorph, an ectomorph? Are you in high energy, like your job, a high demanding lifestyle? Because guess what? Sedentary lifestyle is very demanding, even though you might not realize it. So eating less doesn't mean you're more healthy. So these are things people don't know. But then there's active rest. And this is a really key one, is understanding that your body needs to be in parasympathetic tone. So there's sympathetic tone, parasympathetic tone. Sympathetic tone is fight or flight state. Parasympathetic tone is rest and digest state. Your body heals in the rest and digest state. If your body is always in fight or flight state, your body is not getting the chance to not only digest, but heal. And so people, when they're feeding their bodies with junk, not sleeping regularly, living a sedentary lifestyle, and not in a rested state at all, and their soul is suffering, their body is not being set up for success at all in the practical things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do? You start with the basics and you pick one area that you're like, you know what? This is the lowest hanging fruit area of my life. I don't care if I find a better job opportunity, more vocational, where there's purpose and money connection intersection, where there's a value alignment, my gifts and talents and passions and blah. None of that matters if I can't take care of myself.
Yeah.
So like understanding what is a practical within the 7 core pillars I mentioned, and picking one and saying, I need some help here. And maybe I need a different angle or a different approach in even how I'm navigating that help. For example, somebody like yourself, you say, well, I've had noticeable health changes. I've been on the health journey. I've tried all these things. I would say, is there a different approach? And some of those approaches might look like lifestyle changes that are a little bit more extreme.